Simon Sinek, Simon Sinek, Infinite Game. Here's the book review. First, I want to say before I jump into the review that if you are new to my channel, I am a pastor in a church. Most of the reviews I do come from a Christian perspective. This probably won't be any different, but don't leave the channel. Watch this all the way through. I'd love for you to hear my perspective. Be open-minded if you're agnostic or atheist or different faith, because I really want to talk about the content of this book. I believe that this book is a great leadership book, not just for the church, but for secular world as well. I love this book. I love this author. I think he writes incredible. I think he puts out some great leadership content into our generation right now. One of my favorite things that I liked about this book was that it really had a heart-set focus and a vision-driven character base for the leadership qualities. And it doesn't come at you at first, but it definitely comes at you in the bigger picture of it. When he starts talking about comparison, I find right now as a pastor, comparison is really eating our generation up. Everybody is comparing themselves to a better version in somebody else. And we're all getting exhausted. We're all getting depressed. People are getting anxiety. People are getting, tons of worry. The 20-year-olds are getting labeled the anxiety generation right now. Why? Because we have broken perspective. But Simon Sinek in this book, The Infinite Game, he compares Apple and Microsoft a lot in this, an experience he had with both the companies, Apple and Microsoft. And he would talk about how Apple was constantly looking at making their products better. Well, Microsoft at this time, this era, was looking at what they could do to beat Apple. Long story short, the much better infinite game mindset would be to constantly be developing and bettering yourself, not comparing yourself to other people. So I think the value of this book is incredible. It is an incredible book. I know I got a lot from it. I'd have to say my one big pro, I like to give one big pro, one big positive, and maybe one con. Sometimes the cons are just kind of out there, and I have to stretch for them. Sometimes they're kind of right up in front. But the big pro I'd have to say is, like I said, it addresses a real issue that I believe a lot of leaders face and a lot of people face. So I highly recommend this book. It's well written. It's engaging. The con is it kind of needs to be your cup of tea, though. If you're not a business kind of person, if you don't enjoy watching Shark Tank or The Profit, he really does go into a lot of business examples, business scenarios, stuff like that. He talks about Sam Walton, he talks about Walt Disney, he talks about a lot of these guys as their examples. He talks about a sheriff from a police department. All of these are compelling and awesome stories. But if that's kind of not your cup of tea, then you're going to listen to this and you're going to fall off. I would say about chapters 3 and 4, he gets really into the mindset of what it means to be in a capitalistic society and how that affects our moral values. You've got to get through that. That is where it'll probably lose you if you're not one of these Shark Tank kind of people, these entrepreneurs, these business-minded people. Because he does use that, and it swings around chapter 6, 7, 8. They're incredible. I listened to the book on Audible, not sponsored by Audible or anything like that. So I had to make a point to go back and make sure that I knew which chapters were what whenever I was listening to it, because I wanted to recommend. I run a leadership program. I was like, man, this chapter is really good. I think all of the 20-year-olds that are getting trained up in the ministry and an apprenticeship program should listen to this chapter. But to get to those chapters 6 and 7 and 8, you do have to understand what you're going to be walking through. The payoff is worth it, though. It all ties in. I think it's a great book. I'm going to drop a link to it below. If you want me to read any books, if you want my perspective on any books, they can be secular. They can be within the Christian world. I would love to be able to hear what you want. So drop a comment below on what book you'd like me to read. I would prefer not storybooks. I don't want to read one of the Harry Potters. Who are we kidding? I would just watch the movie. So let me know. I like the maybe biblical teachings / leadership. If you want to do something crazy like Bigfoot or ghosts or aliens, I'm down. Who knows? Drop the comments below. Drop it in there and we'll see. I might read it. So, and then I'll do a review because I'm not going to waste my time. So it'll be fun either way. So that's my thing. Check this book out. It's definitely on a to-read list. And most of the time I'm not going to do a book review on something I wouldn't read myself anyways. So, all right, guys. Can't wait to do my next review. Can't wait to read what you guys say I need to read.